welcome into another edition of Dashtown. Hopefully you know by now that this is a podcast about the businesses built by and for the people of Fuquay-Varina. And with us today, I've got James Sampson of Corner Boys Barbecue. James, welcome in.
How you doing?
Doing well. I hope you are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're doing well.
It's now
hot outside, though.
Yeah. We're in the midst of summer. I mean, the beginning of June felt kind of wintry almost, but
it felt great to me.
Yeah. Well, they say in North Carolina, if you don't like the weather, just wait a week, right? And it'll show.
Right.
We get about a week of way too hot and a week of way too cold in the winter, but most of the time, not a whole lot to complain about. Live in a good area.
It's not. It's pretty good around here.
Yep. So tell us a little bit about Corner Boys Barbecue, mobile food service.
Well, Corner Boys Barbecue is hopefully one day will become a household name.
Okay.
We started in Fuquay. I started right down here on Purfoy Road in Holland at the fruit stand. And just making enough food to sell to some people and see if they liked it.
Okay.
And they did. So it started a hobby, and now it's become a business. So, hey, I mean, what kind of questions you got?
Well, when you can make money off of a hobby, it's that's a great level of financial success. But a lot of times when things become a business, they get a little bit more complicated than when they are just a hobby. So
they do.
Obviously that progression, congratulations to you. That's a level of achievement. But what are some of your greatest challenges at this point in time as this has become a business to grow the business?
Challenges. Challenges is every day. I mean, you got to think about it. It's a mobile food truck. It's driven from Chapel Hill to Raleigh, Durham, Fuquay, Andrews, Smithfield. It goes all over the place. And by riding on those roads, just bouncing up and down and just saying to itself, hey, we're going to need to be repaired. We're going to need to be fixed. And I do as much fixing as I do working. So it's really no days off. It's the trailer is actually in the shop now, just trying to get things tightened up so we can get ready to roll this week. It's given me a real respect of patience, a respect of business, and a respect of you got to have your own tools. And in order to have your tools, you got to keep them together.
Yep. And as a mobile food service, I also, at least I think I understand that you guys are scrutinized to what is possibly even a higher standard than like a brick and mortar location as far as quality control and sanitation and all of those kind of requirements.
Yes. I mean, you and it's not by we're going to get it inspected on Monday and we know it's going to happen. No, this can happen at any drop of a dime, wherever you're at, in the midst of a crowd of 300 people or a crowd of 5 or 10 people. And you got to stop what you're doing to focus on the inspector and what he wants to make sure you're doing versus just cooking food and throwing it out a window.
Yeah.
So we're fine tooth when it comes to inspections.
Okay. Well, people are obviously enjoying the food. To grow it from a hobby to a business to having this service, people obviously are enjoying what you're putting out.
Well, I think they are really enjoying the food. I think the most that we get out of it is when I see people enjoy the food. You know what I mean? That's kind of why we do what we do, is because when somebody takes a bite of your food and their first response is, wow, it's different. When I first started cooking my food, they were like, that's nice. That looks good. But when you start getting those
I think I lost you here. We'll see if you come back. The wonders of technology. You still there, James? All right, we're going to take a quick break and reset, and we're going to come back here.
But I don't really feel like.
Okay, I got you. I lost you for a second, James. I'm sorry. You know, the beauty of technology is that it's great until it's not. I lost you for a second there. Sorry.
I got you. So the gist of what I was saying was, I don't feel like I go to work every day. I feel like I go somewhere where I'm out to enjoy what I'm doing, and every day doesn't feel like work.
Yeah,
it's more so fun.
Well, we also know that as business owners, a lot of what we do is what we love. It is the enthusiasm for the business itself, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Like you said, the maintenance, the upkeep, the paperwork, the taxes, everything that goes into making just the business part of it happen. That part is work. And I've heard that phrase. I've heard people talk about it before, that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. It's still a lot of work. You mentioned like the area that you cover, all from Chapel Hill to Durham to here in Fuquay, and I've seen a little promotion on Facebook. But how are you letting folks know where you will be and getting the word out so that you've got that ready group there that's looking for your food on the day that you show up?
Right. We do a lot of advertising on social media. Right now, social media is like my main focus. So Instagram, Facebook, Alignable. I also have a digital business card. We have Google, Yelp. I mean, I'm probably not even naming it all, but we're on all these platforms, and the people really are interacting. You know what I mean? They're interacting. They're leaving comments. They're following. They're asking questions. Where are you going to be at? And you get to talk to a lot of people throughout the day.
Yep.
And I think we get a lot of success from Instagram, Facebook, and those platforms with the marketing. And it's really not even a lot of money behind it. It's more so just having the platform and communicating with the people. Yeah. I mean, when people put certain things and try certain food and they get a real, oh, I like that. Everybody needs to know about this. They'll share it. And then now, too, with the Black Lives Matter, Yelp has sent me different advertising and different platforms to be on for free. So they're helping out. So it's pretty cool right now.
Good. So on the social media, on those platforms, where can people find you? What's the handle? What are the addresses?
The handle is at Corner Boys Barbecue. Corner Boys BBQ. Corner Boys with an S, BBQ.
Okay. Any meaning behind that, or where did the name come from?
Okay. I knew you were going to ask that question, so let me go ahead and tell you the story. Well, I had a partner when we first started, and his name was James Tolliver. Great guy, loved the guy, and we're still friends to this day. But his idea was he wanted roll smoke barbecue. And I said, well, you know what? We're starting on a corner. We two boys, so why don't we name it Corner Boys? He said, no, that sounds a little ghetto. I said, it does, but it's catchy. It's like catchy ghetto, you know, but it's still cool. So we said, well, we done been going at trying to figure out a name for this company for almost 3 months. And I said, look, if Roll Smoke is available, we'll be Roll Smoke. If Corner Boys is available, we Corner Boys. That's it.
Okay.
So as you see, we were available.
Yep.
That's how it started.
With personalities like Guy Fieri, with Anthony Bourdain, with shows like Food Truck Rodeo and things like that, I think that people are realizing that you can get some really good food in some less traveled places or in, you know, in a food truck such as yours. So
Right,
you know,
right.
it's really catching on as far as I'm seeing in mainstream, that people are appreciating the mobile food services, the food trucks, as much as they enjoy going out to their brick and mortar restaurants.
You know, I'm gonna tell you in all honesty, like Guy Fieri is a really, you know, I like him a lot. I used to own a limo company too, and I've driven him, so I connected with him a little bit, and I wish I would have knew I was gonna do this food thing. I would have blasted that to him, but no, I didn't. But I think the gist of me making food for people is more so other than just going to buy frozen food and throwing it out a window. We put our heart and soul in everything we do.
Yep.
I mean, from down to the okra, which is fresh. You know what I mean? We batter it. It's not hand battered or pre-battered. We do it. Down to the brisket, which I touch every one of them and season that. I mean, we put a lot of time and effort into making things happen, and we just do it.
Well, that's the real important part here. Let's talk about the food. Make folks' mouth water. What do you guys serve?
Well, we serve an array of things, man. I mean, down to fried okra, homemade mac and cheese. I'm talking about the creamy one, not the box kind. We got baked beans, boiled potatoes, potato salad, French fries. I could go on, but I'm gonna stop right there. And then when it gets to the meats, I'm gonna save the best for last. We got excellent fried fish, banging smoked chicken, rib to die for. Uh, Barbecue is just, you know, if you ever thought of like having the perfect barbecue where it's not too vinegary and not too smoky and definitely not dry, come to Corner Boys.
Yeah.
But the main event, man, is like it's this meat that came out of Texas that everybody talks about, this brisket. You know, you're in North Carolina, you're not supposed to know anything about brisket, but I will say, in all honesty, we make a really good brisket. We just do, and
How do you make
people
it?
love it.
How are you preparing it? What's the secret? I know there's got to be some secrets that you're going to keep, but tell us what you can.
But you know, we try to trim the meat down perfectly to where you got a little bit of fat, not a whole bunch. Um, I season it just. These hands are magic hands, so I just season to to what I call a taste, and then we smoke it for like 14 hours. And then the main thing is we let it rest. You know, one thing about big proteins like that is when you're putting heat to them, they're like tightening up. And then when you let them rest, it's almost like they loosen back up and then absorb all the juices back. I mean, I could literally cook a brisket on Monday, ship it to you, and you don't eat it till the next Monday, and it'll taste just like it came off my smoker.
Mm, mm. All right. Well, I'm hungry now. Uh, well, look, when you're around Fuquay, definitely want you to post and promote, and we'll try to help you out and repost it on the Dashtown page and get some
Yes,
folks
sir.
heading out your way. You'll see
Yes,
me
sir.
in line. I want to check you out and get a couple samples of things. So I'll be there to support and you know, business is tough. It is a challenge, but you have to know your craft, and you have to also be a business-minded individual. It sounds like you're there. You've run a couple businesses previously, so
You know, I just got off the phone with a guy out of Atlanta probably about an hour or so ago, and he's in the running to become mayor of his town where he's at. And I was telling him, I said, when you're in business, it's not more so about thinking you know everything. It's more so being like clay and teachable. I learn more and more every day as I go on.
Yep.
Because people will help you. But if you're hard to take advice, it's not going to work.
Well,
I don't know everything.
I've hired a couple people here, one new employee very recently, and I was talking to her and I was like, look, I know how to do this myself, but if I wanted to do it myself every time and be that hands-on, I could, and I could do it very well. But if you ever want to duplicate yourself, you've got to train somebody else and trust them to do it too. And that can be a hard part.
The main thing about that you just said, duplicate, is knowing that the end goal is going from A, B, C, and D. Now, if it takes another person to go from A, C, D, in the end, it's all still the same because you hit all the letters. They just went at it a different way. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you just got to be, understand that people aren't going to do exactly how you do it. But in the end goal, it'll be met.
Yep. Nope. Trust others and be a higher level of quality control over the business. Hey, I noticed the ECU pirate hat.
Man, my daughter brought me this hat because she goes there.
Okay.
And she's living her best life right now.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Got her own apartment and everything, but she's going to her junior year.
We didn't even touch on it here. How has COVID-19 and everything that's gone on affected your business?
Okay, that's a good question. COVID-19, when it first came out, it was more so fear to even want to be in people's arenas with even being around them. So I just felt like for the first part of it, I'm not doing anything. I slowly began to change my tune because, at the end of the day, I got guys who work for me that have families and kids that need me to provide for them, their families. So I said, well, we're going to do it. Let's get out here and try to be safe as possible. We wear masks, put gloves on. The biggest thing that helped with COVID-19 was allowing us to go to neighborhoods and actually bring the food to the people. It helped us out extremely. I mean, I think the first neighborhood we went to, it was my own, matter of fact. We came here and it was on a Saturday for like 3 or 4 hours, and I felt so much love from my neighbors that have seen the journey from a smoker to a trailer to, smelling barbecue all night, coming through their house. Like, what is he doing? This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But to see them support me the way they did, I think I served maybe 250 plates in 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours.
Awesome.
That was astronomical, and it made me feel so good that I have a whole neighborhood of people from Fuquay who are Fuquay that support Fuquay. You know what I mean? And they not only supporting a black company, you know what I mean? Because we work hard, but it's great to feel the support when you need it the most. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We've been there from neighborhoods to hospitals. We did a big giveaway at Rex Healthcare a few weeks ago. I know they extremely appreciated that. We've done giveaways with Give Back for food truckers for kids. I partnered with a guy out of Nightdale, Smoke and Jerk. We've done a lot of things, and COVID-19, number one, has brought everyone closer together to understand that we are all the same. No color, no race. You take all that out the way, we're all people who are going to need each other. Yeah. So eventually, we all came together, man. And I think it was a cool thing that's what it did. It brought everybody back together.
Well,
I mean, with this other new stuff going on, yeah, that's a little different.
yeah. Well, we got to understand that all being in together, there's going to be some differences, right? And you gotta work them out to be in a healthy relationship with your spouse, with any significant other. Nobody's going to see things eye to eye 100% of the time, but
Right.
hey, you gotta give and take and find where you can agree and disagree and agree to disagree where that's appropriate, wherever. But I think you're right. Like with the COVID-19, it did have even though we had to stay separated, a very unifying quality about it that it's kind of interesting to see how that has played out. And maybe for you being able to be live and on location and preparing that food fresh there gave you an advantage over the traditional brick and mortar
Oh yeah,
set
it gave
location.
us an extreme advantage. You know what I mean? Because we were able to keep going. I mean, a lot of the fear was they're going to shut us down, and then what do we do? And then when you came to understand that they're not going to shut us down, they're allowing us to go out. I was like, man, please, if I don't get out my house and get off my behind and go out here and try to do what I can, I'll be shut down. You know what I mean? Restaurants right now can't afford their rent because they're behind 3 or 4 months
Yep.
on all their bills. That's crazy. Not
Yep.
only to not be able to pay the staff, but not be able to pay your rent and your real bills. I mean, this food thing isn't cheap by no means.
No. And there's thin margins in restaurants. And a lot of times where they're making their profit is off the drinks and the alcohol, and the bar sides are shut down.
Right.
It's
Right.
real challenges.
Right. It's real challenges. So, I mean, it was a blessing, and God has truly covered us the whole time. The whole time. I mean, through everything.
Right.
People just, it's been, I can't even think of how many blessings I've gotten from this COVID-19.
Well,
So
God's good all the time.
Man, honestly, you were a blessing. I was, my mom signed me up on Alignable.
Yeah.
My mom, yeah, she's huge with that. You know what I mean? Then you contact me, and then we're talking now. Look at this. Look at God.
Yep.
It's a small world.
It is. Well, we're in it together, everyone. And,
Hey,
when
we're
you get
here.
down to Fuquay-Varina, it gets even smaller, even though we're growing. James Sampson, Corner Boys Barbecue. Find him online, Corner Boys Barbecue, on all the social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, Alignable, and definitely pay attention for where he's going to be at. I'm looking forward to coming out and then getting some samplings, James.
Hey, we got you, buddy. Anytime you need something, man, let us know.
All
Follow
right.
us, Corner Boys Barbecue, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you being on Dashtown. Folks, Corner Boys Barbecue. Look out for him.
All right.
Thanks, James.
Thank you, bud. All right.